So because it's not like things I want to take lightly. I mean, like of course, my life is a story, but of course, it always has been for whatever reason. However, I was born, however I came along, has always been a mystery. Um, Not only to me, but to others, and why I am who I am. Okay, so and then when you come along, it's all a mystery how you came along and how you got here and why you keep seeing like you being linked. Because yesterday was a link thing. Why you keep being linked to Cheryl, right? And if you know in both areas, someone is probably saying you should go a different way. I mean, you agree song, and then someone is always trying to tell me I should go do something else as well. So I don't know, but in my life, you had the Tennessee thing, right? Like it was someone, the R word, and it wasn't that, It wasn't like someone picked me up, tied me up, picked me up against my will, threw me in a car, and went and made me do things with them, okay? And it wasn't like afterwards they threw me out on the sidewalk and I better not say anything or else, okay? And they just swept it under the rug. No, I got it to court, but in real life, because I am an honest person, I always am a positive person as well. So I also had to accept my role in it. I don't know what made me just be acting like I was, I don't know, but I did get in that car willingly and went on wherever I went. And like I said, afterwards, they dropped me off back where they found me, so pretty much. But it's a serious thing, and it is a bully thing too. Not that they bullied me, but it was a thing going on. So then once I come here, and then, Chicago's a whole nother thing too, and I seen how your concert, and I always do scissor hands, but I don't know, like when you get around certain people, how you feel, like the bologna thing. I did buy bologna yesterday because I had a taste for it. I ain't gonna lie, like I didn't grow up eating bologna, so if you see it and freak out about it, it's just, I don't know what you grew up eating all the time, but beans or fish or whatever. When I see pictures, especially in Chicago, all I can do is piece things together the way I see it in the puzzle, and then I can ask questions. It's a difference if I don't ask questions and I just be like, whatever, and go on somewhere else. I try to ask questions and things because it is a real thing, and then you might have asthma attacks when you get around certain people, or when you think certain things that what people have probably tried to tell you in the past, and then they come back around and it kind of freaks you out, especially if I was eating a bologna sandwich, or went to the link place and whatever. Again, these are real things. It's not me somewhere. But anyway, because that is a dump. It is a dump. I don't know. It went downhill somewhere. But anyway. So then when you come along and it's more of someone trying to use that thing from Tennessee, the R word, as if someone did that to me. Now, I don't think you sleep with somebody. It didn't come from me sleeping with someone. It came, I would believe, and I felt like someone scooping something out of me, because it wasn't a soreness that lasted a day. It was really someone had scooped something out of me. And I don't know if it was by accident they scooped an egg out, or scooped because women do, produce eggs, and you don't have to sleep with them for them to produce eggs. I understand chickens and eggs and how they become, I don't know, in the animal kingdom if they produce eggs just now. But anyway, so that came up. So once people said that once they start linking you to me, then it's automatically someone had to do the same thing to her that they did in Tennessee. You had a doctor in there, and he moved out the way and let somebody else come in. This is what people keep turning over in their head. And then you had MJ, and he did something like that and then had kids or whatever they said. So it was a story. So These are, and so then I had to go through these things if other people feeling like that's what it was, and they felt like that's what they should be able to do. So I always had to beef up the security or whoever my guardians is, or always have to have, like when they would be like somebody's dad is on the porch with a, rifle or something, because he always got to keep an eye on his daughter, because some guy thinking he could just easily have his way with her. And it was like on Stanford, it seemed like they came in with that mind, like they were just gonna force me to have a kid with them, because these are things they heard, and it's not that type of party. Someone didn't just do that and then throw me off. And when they see you, and if you linked up to me, like everything people keep saying, then they see you on the stage with someone and they feel like someone just did that to me and then threw me to the garbage, and they kept the kid, and you have to keep saying, no, it sure ain't ever been, regardless of the houses I have gone to live in. But if I would assume that if someone feels like either spend money on a good house and that'll attract pests and roaches, or spend money on something that won't attract people too much to want to come hang out, because like I said, you have a father that's constantly having to keep an eye on his child because he do care about it, or whether it's the Pope saying stop smoking or whatever the case is. You have to make up your mind at what you want to do until you can get to where you want to. As they say, fake it until you make it. It don't matter if I have a lot of money or don't have a lot of money. If my house is a whole city, and in this city we fix the whole city up as if we don't want to attract roaches. Okay, we want it to look decent in certain areas, but we ain't trying to attract a lot of people, because when I first came here, it was Chicago. Kept coming here, shooting and acting ignorant and all these things, so you had to kind of like put up walls and barriers and things. And like I said, wherever you come from is a mystery, right? So in wherever you come from, when people go over there, when you go and tour and they go see where they feel like Manchester is, and whatever they want to see where you come from, or where they think you came from, or whatever the mystery to you is, people continue to want to try to figure it out. But then if sometimes you let that freak you out, or and it's always, to me, because I try to explain things, when sometimes people will try running from whatever is good and then they run right into whatever is bad, thinking that's better sometimes. I don't know. I'm not saying that's what you're doing at all, but sometimes if you let whatever you're thinking before you really understand it control how you process it, and then I don't know. But anyway, that is my thing. Nobody has ever just come and taken anything from me. They might have felt like it was open to do that, especially like when you get like the Halloween crowd, when people feel like everybody is preoccupied with you, or with whatever the hype is for the moment, because before you came along, or people knew who you were, or why you were who you were, or who you think you are, or who they think you are, or whatever the mystery to that is. There's always been these high moments in my life, and when people feel like they can get people preoccupied with what's going on over here, and I would assume is why no one really tries to get me to go to those where you are, because if they can get everybody like, I'm not playing, because I didn't really eat a lot. I wasn't thinking, so I'm not trying to exert myself, and I don't want to use it as an excuse not to do these sit-ups down there. But like when you first got the stage or when you first went on tour and everybody was trying to get everybody focused on what's over there in the corner or wherever, if they can get people preoccupied on focusing on something else, then they would seem like they would be free to have their way with someone else, whether, you know, if I'm making sense. So that's what I'm always faced with. If they can like the Halloween crowd, if they could get everybody focused on thinking everybody having fun over there, and then everybody can make their way over there, the real tough guys, because, Harry is tough, but he can't be tough all by himself, okay? So, and Cheryl is tough, but she can't be tough all by herself either. So she always gotta have someone in place, or we always got to have the city to where we always know what's going on in it, regardless of the people that have been approved to get here. We always got to know what these things are. So if Harry come along and feeling like he could just kick people out on his own or do whatever he need on his own, that's not realistic. Okay, we have to deal with realistic things. Like I said, I don't know what the tour is or how long the tour is or what it really is or what it really means or where you would really end up afterwards or where Cheryl would really end up afterwards. I just always know it's always something people want to know what's going to happen to Cheryl next, right? Like, once she save up enough money, where's she going to go next? What's she going to do next? It's always been a thing, and it's been a thing for 50-something years. So, like, do she really own something, or is she just a charity of the state, a ward of the state, a ward of the government? And then it's cool of whatever people feel, as long as they keep their hands to themselves. That's where they keep, overstepping. Whatever happens to Cheryl's next is what shouldn't be happening to Cheryl now, is you constantly trying to put your hands on her or trying to bully her or whatever the case is. So, like I said, I like to deal with you if I need to deal with you on my own, because, I am a crybaby as well, and I can get a lot of ears even to the animal state. So I try to not get people involved in that and deal with you on my own. So it's another reason why I try not to let people sway me into the argument things with you. I'll hear you out, and if what you crying for is to be free of, because people always have a movie, Deliver Us from Eva, Emma, any other body that resembles Cheryl, they think that has some kind of power or control over something. Deliver us from the tyrant or whatever, if that's the right word, deliver me from her, okay? So, now, I know this is a movie, and I don't know, it's not something I care to watch. I like old movies. But whatever it is, it looked like it's something that someone want to be delivered from. It's a girl they want to be delivered from, or a guy, or, wherever that is filmed at, or whoever wrote it, or whatever kind of mindset whoever wrote it is from, okay? I don't know if you totally tied into it or it is just a part of something you kind of understand from where the mystery of your life is, because it is a girl that you've tied up with, and if she really looks like me, that understand, and it's like torn between where you really want to be or you tried something different. I deal with things in shorthand, okay? So I do, and so when shorts come up, I understand two things: how I read things real quick. I don't, like I said, I don't read things long drawn out. I can't study things too long, or I lose interest, I lose focus. So if you bring things to me, you do have to come to me quickly, and I would process it real quick and give you the answer back, okay? and people know this, so that's if you want me to understand something. And then the other thing I remember is what stuck in my mind when the lady said she went to college, who got a son that's born in the same month as you, and she took up shorthand, or she had a job and she wrote in shorthand. So anytime shorts come up where someone, is three things about shorts. The lady who had a son like you at the same age, she know how to write in shorthand. Cheryl know how to read in quick short form, or Cheryl's booty shorts. So time these things come up, like, so when I say you have a butt crack like mine, we have this crack on my head, and it was a butt, not from a person or an animal. It was a bottle. It was a quick butt. So we don't know if the powers that be keep wanting me to know that I got something like me, okay? Somewhere in the world, there's been so many instances of something constantly coming my way, saying there is something in this world that's like me. Now, when you perform in certain clothes, someone is wanting me to know something about your butt crack, right? I already know what mine look like, but it's not something most people really see because my clothes I wear jeans a lot, or pants that don't really fall in my crack. So it's not something that stands out. But when you are on the stage and you do have clothes that kind of like show your crack, how elongated it is, it's not a normal thing. Most people don't have that. So it's something different that people kind of like probably question, like, why do they keep putting pants on him that show his butt crack? And for most people, it would be like someone is telling Cheryl to kiss their ass, or telling someone else to kiss their ass, or boo-wop the bam. Because I got this thing on my head and nobody understands why because the bottle hit me softly, Like I've been cracked up across the head with things that's real hard, and most of it ain't made a crack on my head. But that thing hit me so soft, and it was like butter house. So anyway, so it don't really become noticeable until I shed light on it. And so last night when I said about I think you have so then people try to figure out is if I'm just making up something, or is it really a thing? Because it's not a thing that they've ever been able to say you have one like them. They can't really say you had a flat ass like them, and they can't really say you got a big ass like mine. But somewhere your ass crack is like not something of theirs. It's something like Cheryl's, and dimples, yeah, when they bring up a girl from over there where they feel like you from, or the mystery of from where you from, and they show you you kind of resemble them. But I have those too, and yours is different still, and it's not like really a dimple. It's not really not a dimple, and it takes some work for it to come out, because mine is not like I can talk and everything, and it's just not real noticeable. But it takes some work to come out. So I don't know. And that's just the mystery of you. It takes some work to come out. It took some work for you to come out. It took some work for Cheryl to come out, to notice that you came out. Or when you do the help me come out, read those things, whether they people that really work in your crew, or they just people in the audience who really want you to help them come out. It takes some work to come out. It's the whole moral to the story. So anyway, I'm done for today. I'm gonna go do these sit-ups, and I didn't eat enough, so I'm like kind of need to go get some food.